Subproject management in Eplan allows users to break down large projects into manageable working sections. Its modular approach makes it easier to focus on specific areas without overwhelming complexity, while improving overall project timelines and facilitating collaboration. David Ridgel shows us exactly how this works.
So let's look at some of the different sub-project capabilities here. So I have a very basic example with 4 pages. 2 of them are in the CP1 location, and I got a couple devices are here. CP2 right now is blank. And let's look at first defining working sections as administrator. This is where you determine what schemes are available for splitting up your working sections, which is typically the prerequisite for a sub-project. If I click the edit, I can add schemes here. So I did it in a very simple way where we have just these locations, CP1 and CP2. That's pretty much it. And then you can define working sections as a user. This is basically saying I want to have a working section that I'm defining as my working section. In this case, I'll make CP1 my working section. So if I go and I activate my working section, you'll see that it's going to isolate just your working section. So it prevents you from working in an area that's not yours. So you can have basically people working on this project simultaneously without the need to even make them sub-projects if necessary by using these working sections. Now, if I want to make this into a sub-project where I split both of these locations up into different projects, I'm going to go click Subproject. So I'm going to file these off. I'm going to highlight CP1 and CP2 and click File Off. If you have these checkboxes on the Extend, it'll lock whatever existing pages, so you'll only be able to add new pages and add new data. You won't actually be able to do any changes on those current pages. So I'm going to leave those unchecked. I'm going to file off CP1 and CP2 here. And you see that it generates these 2 projects. So these should correspond to what we had previously. And then if you look into the master project, now these sections are locked. You could go in here and define, and you could check work temporarily an entire project if you wanted. But in this case, they're still going to be locked because they're filed off right now. So that's really not going to have much of an effect. This would be more relevant if you had your working section activated. So if I go into CP2, let's add a device. I'm just going to add this device here and number it. And let's go ahead and incorporate this back into our main project. So I'm going to highlight this master project and go to subprojects. And then we can either do a store or an update. Store is going to reincorporate the subproject back into the master project, whereas update will leave it external, but it'll add the data, so it would add this device back in. So let's do both examples. So I'll store CP1. Now you'll see that that project is now gone. And on CP2, I'll just perform an update. So CP2 is still separated, but you'll see that the device actually comes in. So that device I added is here, but I'm still, you know, this project is still filed off because of this protection here. So let's go ahead and store it. Now I'm going to do a storage, and now it's completely reintegrated. We can do another example where we delete this device. So I'm going to go to Subproject. I'm going to file off CP2 as normal, and then I'll file off CP1 as on the extend. On the extend, as you can see when you look at CP1, both of these pages are going to be locked because we're unable to edit those. we are able to add new pages. So if I wanted to add a page 3, I could go in here and then add that device. I'll just keep using that same device as an example. Okay. Of course, these are locked. You're unable to do anything on these pages. This one we filed off as normal, CP2, so I'll go ahead and delete this. Now let's reintegrate those projects. So I'm going to highlight both of those and then store. So CP1 should have our new page here with the new device, and CP2, that device should now be deleted. You can see that it is.